Okay, episode 11, Survivors, because I guess we're in a stream of super interesting titles. So in this one, Garibaldi gets framed for some sabotage, but it turns out it's somebody else. And there's all this, stuff about Garibaldi, because this is a Garibaldi episode, and he gets to wear an ugly shirt and run around the space station and get beat up by some aliens, get drunk, and yes, that is what Garibaldi did today. Sinclair tried to help him and looked at him fondly, because I guess whenever I watch Babylon 5, when I'm really tired, I cannot stop shipping Sinclair and Garibaldi. Whatever. So, yes, I enjoyed it. It was fun. But, I don't know, there wasn't anything really there to freak out about, exactly. Except that I like Garibaldi a lot, and I want him to have lots of episodes that are about him. And I always like characters who are very, how to say, loyal and, I don't know, that he's the kind of, very clean cop, or whatever. Is that how that's put? I don't know. That he's not gonna, isn't the kind of person who would take bribes or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, he was telling about his, one of that job he had on Mars or whatever, and how it sucked because everybody wasn't doing their jobs properly because they didn't care. And, yes, so, we need more people like Garibaldi. Yes. Also, Lando and Jakar were in it, which is always a positive thing. Yes, so that's what happened. Not really that much to say about it, like I said. I'm just kind of like, whoa. But yeah, it was good. It was serviceable. It was fun to watch. Hey, episode 12, by any means necessary. It was okay. I don't know, that's gotta be the first one that I didn't really like that much, mostly just because maybe it makes me a terrible person, but I just do not give a shit about a bunch of dock workers. Like, okay, too bad. But then when you start throwing punches, I'm like, I'm sorry, you just lost all my sympathy. I don't care about your problems anymore. But I liked the way Sinclair solved it. It seemed like it went down a little bit too easy, because normally you get people in a mob and they're gonna be like, no, we suddenly are unreasonable. But whatever. So yeah, I guess the highlight of this episode for me was the subplot where Jakar and Lando were just pissing each other off about the flower plant thing. I don't even know what they were saying, but it sounded like he was saying egg every time, but then they started talking about a flower, and I was like, what? Anyway, excuse me. But while I was watching it, I did make a drawing with Sinclair. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. I'm kind of proud of it. Okay. Yeah, basically Sinclair was my favorite thing about this, and everything else, whatever. So, that's it. Episode 13, Signs and Portents. Oh my god. Anyway, that's kind of what I was doing by the end. So many things. I mean, what happened itself in the episode, like the basic plot of, oh, those pirates and there's this eye thing was kind of, I liked it, but the stuff that made me tear my face off was obviously everything else. Like that guy who keeps asking everybody what they want, and the shadow octopus thing, and just a little creepy bit where Garibaldi's like, so you were like 10 millionth in line to get this job, but the Minbari were like, no, we don't want anybody, we want this guy. To Sinclair. So it's like, oh my god, what if they can control him? What if there's, like, this whole plot? I don't even know. Yeah. So it's exciting. Let's see, I was trying to come up with some stupid, like, future predictions, but then, like, the last 5 minutes of the episode happened and my mind got blown. Oh, what was I coming up with? Oh yeah, I decided that Ambassador Kesh was a shadow person, and that's why he always, like, was a shadow, and that's why he always wears that thing, so, like, you can't tell that there's nothing underneath. Oh man, though. You know what really worries me, though? What worries me is that the show is not going to live up to all this insane potential, and that it's just going to be, like, disappointing at the end, and I'll just be like, why? Why would you? So, here's hoping that's not the case, but also don't tell me if it is. That should go without saying. All questions are rhetorical. Yes. I enjoyed that one a lot, obviously. What else? There were a couple minor things. Thanks, I totally needed to know what the bathroom looked like. Also, I have so many things about what people should never have conversations when they're in the bathroom. It's just awkward. I love all the little X-Wings, because, I mean, that's clearly what they are, right? All the little X-Wings. That's cool. It was actually funny, because it was all like, Delta Squadron, or whatever, do you think? And then I was like, did they have an alpha and a beta? And then they had an alpha, so maybe they also have a beta. I don't remember. It wasn't in this episode, anyway. So, yeah, fun times. More fabulous Centauri hair on display. More Londo and Jakar being horrible people, but awesome. Oh, I loved the scene where they were arguing at each other while waiting for the elevator, and that poor little guy standing between them was just like, oh my god. Oh, man. So, yes, this one gets my vote, because this is a voting thing now. Hey, so that was episode 14, TKO. There was a fight, boxing match thing, but not really boxing, because they didn't have gloves or rules. And some Rabbi Kashlav or something showed up and convinced Ivanova to sit Shiva, is that what it's called? For her father, who died a couple months previously. So, it was just kind of like a chill episode where you got to see some other elements of the characters' lives, which was cool. I think probably if I was going to compare Babylon 5 to other science fiction shows that I've watched, it would be the one that it does a better job, I think, of acknowledging the different kind of elements of human life, because especially in Star Trek, you kind of don't get as much an idea of religion, especially, because there's supposed to be kind of this, oh, it's the future, and humans are, I guess, all atheists in the future. But it's nice to see a show that acknowledges that that's completely not something that's going to happen. I mean, come on. And the sports aspect was cool. So I just thought it was fun. It was a nice kind of relaxed thing. I wasn't tearing off my face and freaking out about intensity. It was just kind of like, this is happening and it's nice, and so it was cool. And also it was a little, I guess, character thing mostly for Ivanova, which was nice, and because I don't know, all my crazy alien buddies weren't in this episode. That's okay. That's okay. So yes, I enjoyed it. I don't have that much to say about it, really. Just that it was good, and it was a good kind of average episode, I guess. Episode 15, Grail. So, in this episode, David Warner seeks the Grail, and there's this annoying guy named Jinxo who's leaving Babylon stations, apparently makes them blow up. Except it didn't blow this one up, except Ivanova's like, nah, eventually it will happen. And there was, like, this horrifying octopus thing. Only it only had like 3 tentacles, so it wasn't an octopus. But that was fun. I don't know, I thought it was kind of at the ending. I was just kind of like, oh, okay. The whole True Seeker thing, I was just like, I'm not feeling it. Although Delenn seemed to imply that Sinclair was somehow a True Seeker, and I was just kind of like, I don't even know what that means. Yeah, nobody found the Grail. And, yeah, that's about it. Yeah. There was some funny stuff with, Londo, so, you know, I approve of that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, there's not really that much to talk about. So, here's hoping I have more things to say about the next episode.